What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to film skateboarding. So I'm going to show you some footage that I've filmed that I think is good, and then some other footage that I've filmed that I think is really bad, while I'm giving you a commentary on it, explaining why some of it's good and why some of it's bad. I'm also going to show you how to hold the camera, and I'm going to show you some accessories that you can use to help when you're filming with a GoPro. I've got a lot of cameras and I don't always use a GoPro, but you can get really good quality videos with a GoPro for a fraction of the cost of a more expensive camcorder or camera. The GoPro's case is very protective, so you don't have to worry about breaking your lens or getting your camera wet. So one thing I really wish I had known about when I first started filming with GoPros is Super View. You can turn your GoPro on Super View and just get a wider shot so you don't cut people's heads off. Also, if you turn Pro Tune on, it's going to give you more information in your video, which is going to be better for post-production if you want to edit the colors. But if you're not going to use any kind of editing software after you film it, you're just going to upload it straight to YouTube, you don't want to film in Pro Tune because it's going to make the video look really washed out. Using a pole is one of my favorite ways to film GoPro videos because you don't have to crouch down the entire time. It's a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about the board coming up and hitting you. When you're using a pole to film, you should probably use Super View and get really close. Another really cool thing you can do when you're filming with a pole is hold it up in the air above the skater, and it's like a really cheap DIY drone shot. Another reason to buy a GoPro is you can film yourself. It's also a great camera to use with drones. You can actually just set your camera on the ground, and then later when you're editing the video, you can follow the person with your editing software. I'll talk more about that in another video. I'm going to make a video on how to edit GoPro footage, where I'll go into more detail about stuff like that. At 120 frames a second in HD, GoPros have such good slow motion. I like to film manuals from the front where you can actually see that the wheels are off the ground. If you're filming from the back, it might look like the person's just riding the skateboard. I like to film nose manuals from the back so you can see that the back wheels are actually off the ground. If your skate park or street spot has a ramp down next to stairs, that's very convenient for filming when you're following somebody. If you're not going to follow somebody all the way down the stairs, make sure that you lift the camera up and kind of point down so you can actually see that there's a stair set there. If you're still pointing up, the people viewing the video are not going to even know what's going on. So try not to cut people's heads off, but more importantly, get the trick and the board. Cutting off the landing is a lot worse than cutting off the person's head. I feel like in this shot, John's trying to keep up with me more than stabilize the camera. Okay, so here's another fakey laser flip. It's really sloppy with toe drag, but he filmed this one a lot better. I feel like he didn't know I was about to go. Like he wasn't really ready at the first part of this. So when you're about to do a trick, you have to kind of tell your filmer, I'm about to go, you know, and give them a warning so they'll be ready to start pushing. So the third one he filmed really good, but I didn't land it. Every trick's different, but most mini ramp tricks look really good filmed from the deck up on top of the ramp, and then there's a few grinds that look better when you're actually in the ramp, filming from the bottom. The hardest part about filming with a GoPro is you can't actually see what the camera sees, unless you buy some kind of extra monitor. You see, DSLR cameras have a flip screen, so you can see what you're filming even if you're filming at a really low angle. You can use the GoPro app to help see what you're filming, but it's not in real time, it's a little bit delayed. It takes a little bit of practice. After you've been filming with a GoPro for a little while, you'll know how to hold the camera to get something in the frame. I've been filming with GoPros for a pretty long time, but as you can see in these clips, I still cut people's feet off, people's heads off, and miss the landing sometimes. So in skateboarding, following somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're behind them. You could be right beside them filming up. You want to be in front of the person, not behind the person, because when you're behind them, you're just getting a butt shot. You could be right in front of the person, filming backwards, and that's a cool shot too. It kind of depends on what the person's doing. If the person's doing a regular manual, it might look better from the front because you can see that the front wheels are off the ground. If they're doing a nose manual, it might look better filming behind them. Like I was saying before, the closer you get to something, the bigger it looks. So if you want the obstacle to look bigger, you get really close. If you're filming an ollie or a flip trick with a GoPro, you're going to want to be at a low angle looking up. Looking up at the person is going to make the trick look a lot bigger. If you're looking down at a person with a GoPro, it's going to make their trick look a lot smaller. Also, check out the settings on your GoPro. You can completely change the way the shot looks by adjusting the settings. So I kind of feel like I'm teaching you guys to film like a 90s Mountain Dew commercial, but that's kind of what GoPro footage looks like. Whenever I'm filming with a GoPro, I'm thinking more about trying to hold the camera steady than I am about actually following the person. I usually use both my hands on the camera trying to hold it stable, and I try to foot brake as little as possible because I get really shaky when I have to actually foot brake, or if I have to switch my feet and skate switch, that kind of makes the video a little bit shaky too. So I try to just follow in one direction the entire time. Sometimes those shots where you get really close to the person and then really far away and then really close again can look really good. To be really good at filming skateboarding, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be really good at skateboarding. So some of the best skateboarders make the best filmers. You can't pay attention to what you're doing when you're filming somebody else. You have to be focused on what they're doing, but you still have to be skating just as fast as they are. It's hard to follow somebody in a mini ramp. So I really like filming mini ramp skating from the top. Everything looks bigger from the deck. When you're down at the very bottom of the ramp, looking all the way up, the ramp might look bigger, but the tricks are gonna look a lot smaller. With a GoPro, you can be kind of close to the person, but you gotta make sure you get a really low angle so you can get the coping and the actual trick in the shot. Try to film a trick from different angles. Every trick looks so different. It's good to have a few different angles just in case one of them doesn't look right. My favorite thing about GoPros is you can use them in all conditions. It's my go-to camera for the rain or the snow. Sometimes when you're using a pole, just a slight twist of the wrist can be better than swinging your arms around a lot. Especially if you're using super view, it's gonna start to look really weird. So just kind of barely twist it to follow the person and stay pretty close. You don't wanna get too low when you're filming a manual trick stationary because you might completely cut off the board and the person's foot and just get the ledge. GoPros are really good for time-lapse videos. Okay, so this clip's kind of low quality just because John sent it to me through Facebook. But watch how I film the hip from the top, then I get really far away from him, and then come right back. Sometimes that can look good when you're getting really far away from the person and then getting close again. It just kind of shows the surroundings a little bit. And then here, I try to get really close to the ledge so you can kind of see the ledge before he grinds it. So the good thing about this pole is it's just really adjustable. You can get it as long or as short as you need it. For me, I like to have a longer pole because it's a more stable shot and you don't have to get as close to the person, so you don't have to worry about getting hit by the board. Okay, so the thing about filming skateboarding is you're gonna have to lug a lot of extra crap to the skate park with you. So if you don't have a car, it might be hard. As you can see, I've got my regular board with little hard wheels, and then I've got a filmer board with really big soft wheels. It's gonna be a little bit smoother when you're filming. Got my camera bag, got a GoPro, got two handles here. This handle is really nice because it's got weights down at the bottom and it's metal, so it's a little bit heavier. Also, I film with an A7S sometimes, which the screen just kind of lifts up. It doesn't really fold out like a T3i, so that's really good for a camera like that. Got selfie stick, and then we've got a drone. I just got this handle in the mail. I'm really excited about trying it out. With a GoPro, I think that you'll be able to see at least the metal bars down here. Those are actually weights to help weigh it down and stabilize it at the bottom. And you might be able to see these hand grips, maybe even the top right here. The cool thing about this handle is you can hold it like a regular skateboard handle, but then you have extra stabilization by holding the side. Or if you're trying to film like artsy shots going up some stairs or something like that, you're following somebody that's just walking around town, you can actually hold it like this, and it'll help stabilize your hand if you got really shaky hands. Another thing about GoPro cameras is they're not very good in low light. And as you can see, we're kind of in low light right now. Another thing I always do wrong when I'm filming with the GoPro is I leave it in this waterproof case, so the sound is really muffled. I'm always worried about getting water on it for some reason. Even if it's completely dry, it might start raining and I might have to, film in the rain. Also, you can get a case with holes in the side. That will really help because the microphone is actually on the side right here. So, if you have a drone, you can actually use it as what's called a gimbal. A gimbal is something that stabilizes a camera, and they're really expensive. So if you're gonna do this, don't put the propellers on, because if some kid reaches in your backpack and gets the remote and turns it on, it could cut one of your fingers off. So, without the propellers on, the gimbal at the bottom of this drone will stabilize the camera when you move it around. So you can follow somebody actually holding the drone, and as you turn, it's going to make those really steady turns instead of a really quick turn you might make with your hand, and it's going to take a lot of the shakiness and vibration out of your filming. So you can actually skate and follow somebody just like this. This is not going to be for every shot because, as you can see, it's kind of looking down at the person. So this is going to be like when you're following somebody from behind, looking down on them, and you want a stable shot. Try to get all your camera equipment together before it gets too dark, because when it's completely dark outside, it's going to be hard to find every little piece, and you might end up leaving something at the park. So I've got a lot of ideas for future videos, and I've got a lot of tricks filmed that I really want to do how-to videos on, but editing takes a lot of time. So if you guys really want to see a lot more videos, I need you guys to comment, like, and let me know. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. If this video helped you out at all, please let me know by liking the video. Also, if there's something you want to know how to do, just let me know in the comment section below. Definitely subscribe for more how-to videos. Thanks for watching.